Hello everyone and welcome to this week's game development log video diary, and this week I've been doing some more work on the visual effects as well as making a few improvements to the GUIs. So with the Kickstarter now less than 3 months away, I've recently been trying to clean up the look of the GUIs in the game, and this week I did some work on the player profile up in the top left corner there. As you can see, I've given it a bit of a redesign this week, and there's also now an actual 3D preview of the character, which means that it now also displays the armour that you're wearing. And this also works with the enemy profile when you look at other players or mobs as well. I'm not completely finished working on this yet. I still need to do a few more things with the preview, like adding some anti-aliasing, but it's pretty much all there. For the mob profiles, like this one for the skeleton here, I needed to do a bit of extra work in the entity editor to allow me to choose the position of the camera for the 3D preview. So in the health component of the entity editor, I added these two sliders here, which allow you to change the height and the zoom of the camera, and there's also an option here to allow you to preview how this will look in the profile. Also this week I did quite a lot more work on the visual effects, and the first thing that I did was to create a visual effect file format for the game. So this here is one of those visual effect files for a simple glowing effect that can be added to lights in the game. The file contains texture information as well as a whole load of settings for the actual effect. And I then of course had to program a parser which can read in these visual effects into the game. This now means that I can put visual effects into an entity's folder, thus giving the entity that effect. So here I've put that glowing effect into the entity folder for the small lamp, and now whenever that lamp appears in the game, it will have that glowing effect connected to it. I'm also going to be able to use this same kind of concept to attach effects to certain bones in an animated entity, meaning that I'll be able to add visual effects to animations and attacks as well. As well as all that, there are also a few nice new weapons in the game this week. So firstly, we've got a couple of new tribal staffs, this basic one here, and then also this lesser tribal staff, and there's also a new holy staff as well. And there is also this fantastic new armour set this week, which I'm sure we'll be seeing lots more of in future devlogs. Finally this week, I have the results of the poll that we did last week to help choose a name for the game. So this is what the raw results looked like, but interestingly enough, the website actually allowed me to see how many times each person had voted, and there were obviously some people who felt pretty passionate about some of these names, with a few people voting 40, 50, or even on one occasion 97 times for the same name. So while I admire the dedication of these people, for the sake of fairness I removed all of the duplicate votes, and then these were the actual results. So as you can see, Soccer One obviously coming out on top there, and I think if I don't find a more suitable name within the next week, I am going to have to go with Soccer One, because with the Kickstarter coming up, I do need to start working on logos and websites and branding in general. For this week though, that is it. Next week I'm going to be programming the visual effect editor tool, which will allow me to easily create lots of good looking effects and attacks, and you can see extra pictures and videos of that during the week on any of my social media pages. Links are in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you all next time.